Is Damien from Marketing Food Online, and guys, I'm going to bring you 10 tips in this video that are quick and easy to understand, but they are ultra important for success with your food business, no matter what type of food business you're doing. And I'm going to actually get into those 10 tips right now. All right, guys, so welcome back. As I mentioned in the introduction, I'm going to give you 10 quick tips about food business industry. If you're looking to start your own food business, these 10 things are something that I've learned kind of the hard way, I guess you could say, over the past 12 years. And I'm going to bring those to you, and they're in no specific order. I believe actually all 10 of them are actually equally as important. And before we do, as always, welcome to Marketing Food Online. We are YouTube's premier food entrepreneur channel. From over 12 years experience and being on my own now with my wife, we have a handful of e-commerce businesses online, and we operate several e-commerce businesses selling food, and we also had Italian bakeries. We've had retail brick and mortar bakeries as well. So these are 10 tips that I've kind of learned through trial and error, if you will. And then again, they're no particular order, but they're definitely something you need to think about as you dive into making your own food business. So number one, start small. And do this, please do this, with no loans or credit cards. Do not go out and max your credit cards without some type of a business plan or even understanding what you're going to do, or take out any type of micro loans or any other loans at all. And definitely do it with the funds you have available now. And even if it happens to be very small and incremental investments on your own, do not dive into a bunch of debt to create a business, okay? Because in the long run, that interest on those credit cards and those loans are going to be very difficult for you to make when your margins and your profit are very minimal, very small when you're selling individual units of food products, or if you're starting out very small with very little cash flow or little revenue. This is definitely something that I highly recommend. I did actually max out my credit cards when we actually dove into our 401k and our credit cards when I started our Italian bakery. And it was a success, but in the end, when we transitioned to being online, it was something that was causing a bit of a problem, to say the least. So my 2 cents to you, please just work with the capital that you have available, no matter how small that is. You can always start small and grow big. So do not take out any type of loans or credit cards when you first start. There is a time in a small business for you to take out those types of loans, but I'll get to that in a few minutes and I'll explain why. Number 2, be specific about the food you are selling. Well, Damien, that's kind of no-brainer, of course. I mean, well, believe it or not, a lot of food entrepreneurs dive into a lot of different directions with different types of foods, okay? And sometimes they're actually buying food and flipping it. They're actually making foods and selling it. It could be baked goods. They jump into snacks. They could be doing a lot of different things. So if you're not prepared for all of those at once when you start, just specifically pick out 1 or 2 certain types of food items. For instance, if you like meat jerkies, get into the meat jerky business and have a couple variations of that. If you're into salsas, stick with salsas and maybe come up with several variations, as opposed to getting into a bunch of different condiments or beef jerkies and snacks or nut mixes or anything of that, like trail mix. There's a lot of different products that you're bringing on load on your shoulders at one time, and I highly recommend you not do that. Definitely be specific about the product that you're selling, even if it happens to be just one product. Okay, number 3, start with at least 1 to 5 variations of that product. Okay, so now finding a specific product is one thing. Variations of that product is a totally different thing. As I mentioned as an example, if you like meat jerkies and you wanted to get into a meat jerky business, then come up with 5 at the most, 5 variations to start with, or between 2 to 3 or 3 to 4. Don't try to go to a large variety or a big line of products at first, especially if you don't have experience in marketing, promoting, pricing, shipping, manufacturing, making it. There's a lot to it. So stick with specifically one product, but create a couple of variations to start with, okay? I recommend always to a lot of the clients I do consulting with is that you can actually take on one particular product, but create several variations of it, a few variations, and really do very well with that, as opposed to trying to take on a load of a whole bunch of different products at once. Number 4, start small and start from home. No matter what, start from home. I would not recommend you go out and buy or rent a commercial facility, a commercial space, and dive into some big long contract that has insurance, commercial garbage pickup, commercial waste. You've got water. You have to outfit it to make sure it fits the health department or the Department of Agriculture inspection. Don't do that yet. Don't dive into a commercial setting just yet. Start from home and do that until you have a very solid what's called social proof. When you begin to have social proof of your product, meaning that you have proof that it sells, not to your family and local friends and stuff, you need to sell that product. And you can do that at farmers markets, festivals, fairs, wherever you could do it under the cottage food laws in your state. Get social proof first. If you went to a farmer's market or went to a festival and you sold out of like 200 or 300 units at that one event, then you've got a pretty hot ticket item. So then I would then from that point start thinking about, hey, you know what? This could be something I could turn into a full-time business, get a commercial space or commercial kitchen, and go on from there. Definitely that is a good step to do it. Don't dive into some big space at first without any proof that your product will sell. Number 5. Always incorporate yourself. Do not use this as a hobby, okay? Do not think that a food business is a hobby. Why? Because above and beyond any other type of business, food is consumed by people. People can get sick. People can have allergic reactions. You need to incorporate yourself to protect yourself. Separate your personal assets and your personal life from your business. And by doing that through an LLC, a basic formation of an LLC, you're going to protect yourself in major ways, okay? So do not think that a food business is a hobby and just do it from my side. I'm not going to have to incorporate or get insurance. I don't need all that stuff. You're going to get into some serious problems, okay? So definitely incorporate yourself, and you can even do that. As a matter of fact, below this video, I'll put a link on there for InkFile. You can check them out. You can do that online. Even Ink Authority. These are websites that you can literally take 10 minutes and you can incorporate yourself, but it's well worth it, okay? Number 6. Insurance. Again, no matter how small your business is, even if it's from home and it's not even required, many states actually will allow you to produce cottage food products or even start a home-based food business without the necessity or the requirements of insurance. But I highly recommend you do that. So the incorporation is one aspect and the insuring yourself is another. Definitely do that no matter how small it is, okay? The insurance is going to give you another blanket of protection. Highly recommend you do that. Number 7. Reinvest any and all of your profits back into your business. Don't start paying yourself if you're making just even a few $100s a week or a couple thousand a week. Don't start paying yourself just yet. You need to grow the business and get it out of your home and into a commercial setting. When you begin to have larger cash flows and you have more profit, then you can begin to pay yourself. But I would not recommend you do that when you're very small. You need to reinvest every single penny you can into your packaging, if it happens to be marketing, if it happens to be a website, promotion, local promoting, if it's expenses to get into farmers markets, pay those fees with those profits. Don't take your profits and put it in your pocket just yet. Number 8, never start in a commercial kitchen without, again, the social proof factor. A lot of people that I talk to on the phone that I do consultations with as well, they always want to jump right into a commercial kitchen. And that's great that you've got the enthusiasm and the excitement, but renting a commercial kitchen without a need for it, if you don't have some type of purchase order, or if you have a large quantity that you have to make that you can't do at home, if you don't have that social proof yet, again, that it sells, and not only does it sell, but it sells enough to merit renting a commercial kitchen, I'd say stay away from it. Don't do that, okay? Until you can outgrow your house, don't rent a commercial kitchen, because they usually can cost you quite a bit per hour, or you're set into a locked contract with a commercial kitchen and you don't have any need for that. You don't have any need for you to go there for 3 or 4 hours and produce several hundred units when nobody's buying it yet. Make sure that you have the social proof. Number 9, create a website as soon as possible. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, well, Damien, if I start from home, I can't really sell on a website. You're right. You don't need to create an e-commerce website. You can create an informative website. You start the website off with what your business is. Talk about your products, but don't e-commerce it yet. Don't make it accessible for people to purchase things, and you can do this. You can even actually do it through a blog, believe it or not, and create a simple blog that can be transformed into a website, an e-commerce website down the road. But in the meantime, create that website, because down the road, in a few months or even a year, you're going to be able to turn that into an e-commerce, because your business will grow. You're going to make it grow, and you're going to get out of the house and you're going to begin a commercial kitchen. That's going to allow you to take that website that's existing, and then you can begin to make money from it. So that's already there, and it should grow with you as you start. Don't go into this about a year, 2 years down the road and say, well, you know what, maybe I should start. No. Start a website now. And you can do that very simply through Weebly, Shopify, Wix. You can do any of those platforms would be perfect for you to work on, even GoDaddy. And as a matter of fact, down below, I'll even put some links you can check out. I know that they've got a Weebly, and even Shopify has a free trial period. Check out those links down below, and you can begin to actually build and work with their platform free of charge, and you can check that out as well. And that way you can get your own website up and running. Number 10, and this is probably one of the most important when you're building your brand, trademark. Okay, you can do your own trademark. Make sure that you do that early too. You can go to the USPTO, United States Patent and Trademark Office online. Go to the website. You can actually create and apply for that trademark yourself. Now, if you're not very sure about it, of course, you can get someone to do it for you, but it's going to cost more money. Take your time and fill out the application. Follow the steps, pay the fees. But here's why. The trademark process itself can take on a minimum 6 to 8 months before you can even get anything back. And if there's any issues, if it happens to be similar to an existing trademark, or if it's a trademark that resembles someone else's or something of that kind, it can be delayed. Okay, so getting a trademark and protecting your image and protecting your brand right off the bat is something that you should do immediately. Okay, so definitely get a trademark up and running. So those are the 10 most important technical aspects, if you will, of getting any type of food business started. And as I mentioned in the introduction, I wanted to make them 10 quick ones. And for 10 minutes, those are the top 10. So if you have any questions about those, let me know down below, and I will definitely get to those as soon as possible. And I'll see you guys in our next video. Thanks for watching Marketing Food Online. And if you are looking to create your own food truck, start a home-based food business under the cottage food law, franchise a food operation, start a packaged food business, private label your own food product, sell on Amazon, get your own online store, or sell food online, remember to subscribe and check out these videos for more resources. Take care.